Ourselves, the reason why we're doing this is that brutal terrorists attacked innocent individuals, innocent citizens, burnt, raped, murdered, tortured and took them hostage, and then continue a conflict against Israel. And I think that in an expression of anger today, the Minister could have been much more balanced. Instead of talking about attacking hospitals, why isn't he condemning the terrorists who use the hospitals for bases, knowing the consequences?
Surprise, 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 surprise. The West Midlands Police in Britain's decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from attending a football match was motivated by fear from the Islamic mob and political considerations concerning, the war in Gaza and stuff like that. That's why it's very nice to see a lawmaker in the British Parliament expose the truth regarding this fiasco in this, I don't know, what is it, a Northern Irish accent, I think it is? Sammy Wilson, take a look.
Sammy Wilson.
Speaker, confidence in the police, of course, is very important, and given that the reports in the Sunday Times seem to contradict totally what the police in the West Midlands said, is it not accurate to say that their recommendations on which Israeli fans were banned from the Aston Villa match was nothing but a tissue of lies? And if they'd really wanted accurate information, as experienced investigators, would they not have just lifted the phone or sent an email to the police in Amsterdam to find out what the facts were of the match that occurred there? It appears that they have given in to pressure from Muslim politicians and Muslim thugs. And as a result, once again, the Jewish community are left feeling that they're the disadvantaged people. Will the Minister assure us that the inquiry will look very clearly at what political pressure was put on the police in the West Midlands to reach this decision?
The honourable member is right to say that confidence in policing is incredibly important, and we need it to be. We need that confidence across all our communities in the UK, and we know that there is a lot of work to do in some areas in particular. I'm not going to comment on what appears to be the case, but I can reassure him, as I've said, that the Prime Minister believes this was the wrong decision in the first place.
Ourselves, the reason why we're doing this is that brutal terrorists attacked innocent individuals, innocent citizens, burnt, raped, murdered, tortured and took them hostage, and then continue a conflict against Israel. And I think that in an expression of anger today, the Minister could have been much more balanced. Instead of talking about attacking hospitals, why isn't he condemning the terrorists who use the hospitals for bases, knowing the consequences? Instead of talking about the lack of aid, why is he not recognising aid is given and the fact that that aid must not be allowed to be abused by terrorists in Israel? And his message should be...
Order!
Here, here. Love it, man. Love it. In that accent, it's kind of like an Irish accent, right? My God. And you see, he's just always coming out and saying, what about the massacres that took place on October 7th that led to this war? You see straight away, like the anger starts to boil in the House of Commons, and with these Pakistani MPs behind them, they start to get, they get so uncomfortable. They start to get so angry. They have to qualify immediately regarding those massacres, something to do with the Israeli reaction. They start getting angry. Why are you getting angry over the fact that he mentions that? What is there, it's insane how this just brutal act of massacre that took place with people screaming in elation, Allahu Akbar, and then dragging the bodies through the streets of Gaza has to immediately be counteracted by something else. People can't just accept it for the horror that it was. No? And the thing with the fans, the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, where they tried to claim that these group of soccer fans or football fans, and we know football fans can be a little rowdy all over the world, are so violent and so terrible. So they lied also about what happened in Amsterdam. I don't know if you know what happened in Amsterdam. There was the famous Jew hunt in Amsterdam, where they started chasing Maccabi Tel Aviv fans through the city and throwing them into the canals. Did you see the videos of that? So then they claimed that the Maccabi fans had it coming because they were, taunting others or something. They had it, they deserved the Jew hunt that happened, even though it was discovered later in the text messages that had been planned in advance by all of the Moroccans and others who were in Amsterdam to go and to attack the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. So the West Midlands police, the police in this other football match in Birmingham, apparently they had information that the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans were a threat from what happened in Amsterdam. But as the MPB there revealed, they didn't even check what happened there. They didn't even correspond. It turns out that the accusations that were made against the Maccabi fans were completely false. But the thing is, they wanted it to be true because then they can be, they don't have to deal with this problem of escorting, Israeli fans in the Islamist parts of Birmingham. And what can happen from that? It's, as he said at the beginning, Sammy Wilson. Give me that accent, Sammy Wilson. Love it. Love it. Love those old school guys who just come up there and, tell the truth. Don't give an F about the consequences. As he said, that there was intimidation by the thugs, by the Islamist thugs, and intimidation by politicians who were sitting there behind them. You saw those Pakistani politicians sitting there behind them, starting to get agitated when he talked about October 7th. It's this combination of the thugs on the street and the political pressure that made them ban the Jews from coming to the football match. God forbid the Aston Villa football match. It's already happening. It's already happening. This discrimination against Jews under the cover of the Palestinian cause, starting to creep into places in Europe in a horrific way. And it's only going to get worse, of course. And the jihadists, that's what they want. That's what they want. It's not about the Palestinians. They don't give an F about the Palestinians. They don't care about the Palestinians. The Pakistanis there in Britain, they don't care about the Palestinians. That isn't what this is about. And other people, not just Jews and Israelis, are starting to learn that the hard way. And we'll learn that the hard way, unfortunately, if it's not recognized for what it is.